All right, guys, welcome back to the third and final part of my little mini series here of how I made money as a student using Asus routers. Look, on the last commentary, I did talk about the fact that I had bought them and returned them all and stuff. So if you haven't watched it, you probably should. Also, you should probably start at part one because that's usually a good idea. And I'll put those links in the description for you guys, so for your convenience, you can easily find it. But yeah, like basically, I had just finished speaking about the fact that I had returned all the routers. My credit card was now happy because it was all back to normal again. I didn't have this huge like $2,000 debt, and yeah, now it was just a matter of the fact that I had like all these photos of these barcodes, and so now I had to somehow figure out how I was gonna submit all these barcodes via email to Asus, which is how they said I should do it on the terms and conditions, without sort of arousing any suspicion. Because it's fair enough. Like up until this point, I had submitted three photos of three barcodes, which were the first three that I did way back. And then after that, I had gotten the idea to do more than three, like 12. Or I initially thought 20. Why not just do 20? Let's just do as much as I can, as much as I can afford. And I figured out it was about 20 routers. 20 routers at $200 each is $4,000. So that's about as much money as I had at the time. So I thought, well, I can do it with 20 routers. Why not? But yeah, so I had submitted three, and I hadn't yet got the redemption for those. It was $50 redemption for all three, but I hadn't yet gotten the redemption because Asus had said that the turnaround time between submitting the email and then checking the email and checking to see the barcode and see all that stuff would take about a month's time before I'd actually had it sent out to me and all that. So it was still at least a couple of weeks, 3 or 4 weeks away from actually getting those gift cards. So basically, all I had was three in the mail, so to speak, and I had another like I don't know, 20 photos of barcodes basically just sitting here on my hard drive. And now it was a matter of figuring out how I was going to email this to not arouse suspicion from Asus, because three is one thing, but 20, that's something else entirely. So that was pretty tough. So I figured what I'd do is I'd space them out. So I'd like send in two photos of two barcodes, and then a couple of days later send in another three, and then a couple of days after that, send in, and so on and so forth until I'd sent in all the barcode photos. But the thing was, it would be pretty obvious if they were all coming from the same email address. So then what I did is I set up a whole bunch of different email addresses and sent them in with different email addresses. Of course, I still had to have the same actual physical home address because they were sending out these gift cards physically to my home address in the mail. So I was a bit worried there because I had the same name, same postcode, the same and same and same. So I thought, oh man, this is going to be tough. I don't know how I'm going to do this. But I thought, well, who cares? And maybe they'll only check to see if the email and stuff is the same. And at the end of the day, they didn't actually care all that much. Like, I don't know. At the end, like, I don't actually know if they really caught on to the fact that I had sent them all in. Because at one point, they had sent me an email that said something along the lines of how many of these did you buy or something like that. And I said to him, oh, I bought quite a few of them, whatever, because I gave him the standard story. I'm setting up a LAN party, which obviously wasn't true, and and they were like, oh, well, that's cool. They didn't seem to care beyond that, but it was a bit strange. And I actually did run into some problems with those guys because I had sent in emails, like I said, staggered probably every couple of days with a total of about 20 barcodes. And about a month later, after a month had passed, I'd only received probably about 16 gift cards only. I mean, it's still heaps, obviously. But I thought, man, that's like sucks. Like I sent in 20 barcodes and stuff. So then I had to like get on the phone with them and talk to them and work it all out. Anyway, eventually they realized that I had in fact sent in about 20 barcodes. And again, they didn't really care, but they did send me out those gift cards. And so I ended up with everything. But here's the deal. Here's where it gets funny. About so Asus do these promotions sort of on a regular basis, as I've then found out. I mean, up until this point I didn't know. As far as I knew, Asus had this was the first time Asus had done anything like this. This is the first time I had seen sort of anything like this. I'd heard about it in the US. A lot of people in the US, a lot of manufacturers and retailers in the US do this kind of thing where they give you a $50 rebate or a $100 rebate or whatever, depending on the product. But in Australia it's not common, at least not. I'd never seen it before anyway. But about 3 or 4 months after all this had happened, so I had gotten all my gift cards, okay, and I made something like I said about $900, which is really decent. It was a bit less than I had anticipated because I had paid for most of these routers on my credit card, and when I returned them, I actually got a some sort of a credit card fee that I wasn't aware of. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The fee only amounted to maybe, I don't know, $50 in total. So at the end of the day, you know, it didn't count for that much. It was like one gift card that I didn't get, which wasn't too bad. But yeah, like I said, about 900. Actually, may have been 950. I think it was 950. I can't remember. It was a while ago, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, it was a lot of money, man. And it was good. But here's the deal. Here's the deal. And this is what I was trying to get to earlier. About a couple of months later, Asus did the same thing where they said, if you buy this particular monitor, we'll give you a $50 cashback. Oh, no, it was $80 cashback, I think it was, on the monitor. And man, when I saw that, my head started turning and I started like dreaming up all these ideas of making hundreds and hundreds of dollars again. Obviously, monitors are a bit more expensive than routers. You know, they were like $350 or something. So I probably wouldn't have been able to buy as much. In terms of like your return on your investment, so to speak, it wasn't as good as the routers. The routers was like really epic. But yeah, it was still pretty good. But then I noticed something interesting in the terms and conditions. You're not just taking photos this time of your barcode, you're actually cutting it out and sending it in. And so at this point I was like, aha, they learnt. And so, you know, I couldn't do it, obviously. The question is, if it was the same deal again and you just had to take photos and send it in, would I have done it again? Probably not. And would I suggest you guys to do the same thing? Probably not. Because it was pretty crazy. I mean, seriously, rocking up to the store and asking for 6 routers was crazy enough. But then actually asking to return all 6, man, that was weird. That was just so hard. But it was worth it. Like I said, at the end of the day, it was good. And it was good because like I improved on my grifting skills, which I consider a skill because, you know, it's pretty tough to do. If any of you guys have seen a movie called Confidence, you know what I'm talking about. Like, grifting can be pretty cool. If you haven't seen it, you probably should. It's got Ed Burns, I think his name is. It's an actor. But yeah, it's pretty cool. So what started out as just a simple, you know, oh, I want to get my $50 gift voucher that I never ended up getting because I bought my router, you know, a month too early, ended up making me about $900. So I was quite happy with that. Anyway, guys, look, I'm going to leave it at that for today. Thanks for joining me over the course of these 3 videos. I hope you enjoyed it. You know, as usual, like I said, I do have other stories. I hope, you know, it's, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, let me know, you know, leave a like or tell me in the comments. And, you know, I see that stuff and it makes me say, oh, okay, maybe these guys are interested in seeing more stories. There are other stories. I mean, there's not that many more, I guess. I haven't thought of many more. I've made, you know, I've had lots of ways of making money over the years, but can't really think of too many more right now. But there's at least one that I'm thinking of that's pretty interesting. So if you're interested, if you want to hear it, let me know. I'll do another video on it. And don't forget, guys, I read every single comment that you guys write, like every single one. I don't respond to all of them, but I do read every single one. So, you know, tell me what you think. I'll read it and I'll listen to it and I'll take it on board and I'll like do something about it if it's something I can do, you know. So look, guys, again, thanks for watching and have a good day, and I'll see you guys again later. Enjoy the rest of the gameplay.
Napalm strike coming in hot. Fight does not stop. Ready to be